Hi, welcome back to Does My Bank Still Love Me? I'm Jackie Benster, and I'm talking today with Sean Ryan. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Jackie.
Sean, during the break, you mentioned to me that you had actually gotten a degree from Seattle University in
Psychology, and specifically counseling psychology.
Exactly. Now, earlier on some of the previous episodes of our show, it has been mentioned that when you're applying for a loan modification, you really kind of need to do mortgage therapy. The people applying need to really have a therapist to kind of help them through the emotional stress of all this. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, my background and the training I've received definitely serves me well in this industry. The running joke was that we're doing mortgage therapy, and that is definitely a piece of what we do. As I think most people can imagine, or those who own homes, that your home it's a home. Your emotions are wrapped up to it. It's family. Many of us identify our sense of esteem and self with being able to meet our obligations, pay our mortgage and whatnot. When those things get called into question, people react. And there's a lot of anxiety that I help people manage with, the stress load. Oftentimes there's a foreclosure sale pending in the future, and we're working on this modification. If it doesn't work, then they could lose their home, and for many people that is terrifying.
Yeah, big self-esteem issues coming up.
That's right.
Terrible.
On the other piece of the puzzle is the communication and interaction with the actual representatives at the bank. To summarize it, I would probably say two things. Number one, don't take it personal. These are individuals who are hired to do entry-level work, to try to manage a very heavy workload, who are receiving calls from emotionally invested homeowners who are very stressed, and the people you speak with on the phone generally have no control over the outcome of whether or not you ultimately get a modification or not. They're basically providing information, recording information, checking documents, moving documents along. That in and of itself is one of the biggest challenges for the homeowner who is attempting to secure the modification themselves.
They're both overwhelmed and undertrained, and they have scripts that they have to deal with, and they're dealing with excessive paperwork. So, and you said also that some people who had been doing collections have been moved into this area of service.
That's right.
Collections and service are two different kinds of psychology going on there.
Very much so. So when you start missing your mortgage payments, you undoubtedly will start to receive the collection calls. Oftentimes, the collection department is kind of fused with the modification department. It can be difficult to determine if the call you're getting is news on your modification or request for an updated pay stub of some kind or a missing document, or if it's a collection rep who is simply threatening you in an attempt to collect. Because ultimately, it's for the bank, it's about loss mitigation. It's about bottom line and trying to reduce the loss as much as possible. That type of personality that excels in collection is not the kind of individual that you really want to interact with when you're requesting help and trying to qualify for
And so if you do end up with somebody that, so say you have not sought the aid of somebody like Sound Method Modifications, which is the company for whom you work, and you're doing it by yourself. You're a homeowner, you're in trouble, you're trying to deal with your bank, you've gotten somebody on the phone, you feel, you're feeling miserable, and you say, hang up, right?
Right. So, well, number one, go get a copy of Does My Bank Still Love Me? Get informed a little bit. Next thing is just be persistent. And
be persistent in terms of keep calling until you find somebody who actually has a helpful spirit?
Until your home is sold at the auction, keep working.
So keep calling, no matter who you talk to.
Whatever it is that however you're attempting to retain your home, that involves calls to the lender, if that involves seeking professional guidance, etc. Maintain that persistency all the way up until a foreclosure date. we won't go into too many of the details there, but persistence pays off. Practically speaking, if you're having a difficult time with a representative, simply hang up and call back. There's hundreds more in the queue waiting.
And what about asking for a supervisor? Is that something that you do, or?
I do that. You got to feel out the situation. If the representative is becoming confrontational, it might not even be worth your effort to ask for a supervisor. What's to stop them from simply putting you on hold and then hanging you up? I get dropped frequently on accident, let alone on purpose. When it's appropriate, I think, to get a supervisor is when there is an issue that cannot be clarified by a representative. That being said, I would also try to get a representative on the line who you can feel a certain sense of their humanity, that they recognize that you're trying to get help, and you can kind of feel that they're there to help you too. And oftentimes that just means hanging up and dialing back and having time on your side. That's the other thing. I mean, this is time intensive. And for a busy professional, that can be one of the biggest challenges. And just the sheer frustration of going back time and time again and feeling like you're repeating yourself and running into a brick wall and talking to the people that they can't make the decisions. They're not the individuals in a position of authority. They're simply acting as a middleman that exchanges information.
Yeah. Okay, we're supposed to wrap up this segment, but I have to ask you one last question, and that is, do you have relationships at banks so that instead of getting an anonymous person from the phone bank, you can go to somebody who actually can make things happen?
Well, we do with particular lenders. So I actually, when we first started this process, I got so frustrated with Countrywide that I wrote an email on a whim to the CEO. And I didn't think I'd get a response. I was just kind of venting a bit, and lo and behold, a few days later, I got a response. That email was pushed down from the CEO to executive vice president. Cool. And the administrative assistant responded, and we were able to set up a meeting with the co-owners of a company, Russ and Leron, and they met personally with the head of home retention. Excellent. And we were able to establish a personal relationship with them. Very unique. We're very fortunate to be able to do that for our clients that have Bank of America as a lender. And since then, there have been a couple other lenders we've been able to make contacts with, but not all of them.
So you actually were starting with Countrywide, and then you went into B of A. So those are two that you have.
Pardon me. Countrywide and Bank of America merged, so they're not. They're one. They're one entity.
All right. So forgive my ignorance. All right. Very good.
What it comes down to, though, is that if you happen to have, if you ended up becoming a client of Sound Method Modifications, and you had a loan that was serviced through Bank of America, it would be a streamlined process. It would be much easier to determine whether you can get qualified or not.
Wonderful.
If you don't, we have to go through the same channels as everyone else would, except we have the increased knowledge, expertise,
and patience. Because you're doing it, you don't have the emotional attachment to it, so there's a little less of the self-esteem and the fear and all that. And it's more of a
as an objective third party, we're able to cut through all that and to simply look at the numbers and to advocate on our client in the system, as aggressively as we possibly can.
Sean, thank you so much. I very much appreciate the good heart that you bring to this process.
Oh, well, thank you, Jackie.
It's really great to have warm, live, caring people, sitting here telling us that there are hope, that there are options and a different way of handling this than just sitting there in despair and dialing and talking to people that don't care. So on that note, we're going to take another break. I've been talking with Sean Ryan from Sound Method Modifications, and this program is called Does My Bank Still Love Me? And this is the book that's coming out soon. And we're going to take a break, and we'll hope that you will stick with us. We'll be back.